Feel that chair strain, you know? The slightest shift. It's like, I'm not sure about this. Man. Read whatever's comment from before the show. Johnny the Insatiable Void deleted the pinned message, but I can still see it. Here's my TJ impression. I'm amazing. I'm so great. Suck my tiny dick. I pinned it because I thought it was a pretty good impression. I wasn't even, honestly, I don't know. Was it said with hate? Was it said with love? Does it really matter? Basically the same emotion, just preoccupied with someone, mildly different flavor of obsession. Right? Pretty thin line, really. But whether it was love or hate, I don't know. I thought it was a nice comment, It became pretty clear from comments afterwards that he was of the hate variety. But who cares? Still a good impression. I'm amazing. I'm so great. Suck my tiny dick. That's pretty much right. I feel like that's pretty good. I didn't ban him for that. I banned him because he pissed me off in Onion Nuggets on Monday. He's boring. That's fine. Johnny, I totally respect your moderation style. Because you know when to bend. Like, I don't have any hard and fast rules or anything. I don't run a tight ship on this thing. I just pick people that share my sensibilities. And Johnny is just that. He knows. If I look at someone annoying in the comments, I'm like, this guy's kind of a stupid fuck. It's almost like the mind reader that he is. Johnny is just like plucks them out of existence. You're gone. I don't like the cut of your jib, motherfucker. You're out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've definitely had mods in the past that have done stuff where I was like, oh man, I don't know if that person should have got the boot. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, sorry. But Johnny's yet to make a decision like that rubbed me the wrong way. Johnny don't know shit. You're gone. Johnny, don't ban him. Don't prove me wrong. I just in time. Salvador's barking. Woo, 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 woo. Salvador, quiet. Hey. Shut up. Biker TJ. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this aesthetic is or whatever. I bought this shirt because I thought it looked like Dexter's shirt, kind of. So, in my mind, I'm going to look all sleek and cool like Dexter. But then I put it on and I just feel like if you see my full body wearing this, I feel like I just look like I don't know, like a lumberjack or something. It's like a fucking fat lumberjack that's decided to he's wearing like his long underwear or something. I think that it's ruined by this stupid pocket right here that makes it clear that it's kind of like an undershirt because it doesn't really. I don't know. This doesn't feel like a public pocket. It feels like a secret pocket. But maybe that's just something going on in my brain. I don't know. I thought you converted. Yeah, I converted to, I don't know, gibberish. Sleeping is fun because it's like not existing. I don't know. I murdered a dude in my sleep the other night. Not the first time, but was fighting someone in a pool. Kind of looked like one of the what's those people in the fucking Game of Thrones thing? The Game of Thrones spinoff House of Dragon, Targaryens. Yeah, one of those blonde Targaryens. And they were, I don't know, they kind of looked like that. Anyway, we were in a pool. like a swimming pool, like in the shallow end, and they started swinging on me, and I grabbed them by the neck, and then I smashed their head against the edge of the pool. Don't know why I didn't just drown them. Would have made more sense. Go for the drown, since, use your environment to your advantage. But no, smash their head on the side of the pool. I don't know why the murder happened. I know there was a reason in the dream. It wasn't just like, I feel like murdering. There was some kind of like thing that came before, but I can't remember what it was. But that was fun, I guess. There's more to that dream, but I don't really remember it. It all got kind of subsumed by the intensity of that moment. You look good, mate. Thanks. Did you feel guilty after? No. I didn't feel guilty about it. I didn't feel joyous about it. It was just like a thing that needed to be done. I viewed it in the dream as just work. Like, this person needs to now die. There was no emotion really wrapped up in it at all. It was just like, this is a necessity. So I don't really know. I don't know what that was about. But very, very striking. And I definitely thought about it a lot the next day. I was like, what the fuck? Why am I dreaming that? What's that about? What am I working through? Holy shit. Slow mode for patrons. I would question your action, but questioning the king's action is beyond treacherous and treason. I don't feel like it's not treasonous to question the king. All right. It's not that kind of monarchy. But the reason for the slow mode in here is because even on our Patreon, there are people who will just like spam one thing like a poop emoji or try to spam the N-word or whatever the hell to, cause havoc and all that. So, if you got a 20-second timer on them, it's a lot harder for them to spam some shit. Because by the time they get to the second or third spamming of the same thing, they're pretty much gone. Cold foreshadowing. Yeah, I mean, maybe. You think about that. Who knows? Is the dream? I mean, like, maybe the dream is telling me, prepare. Prepare to use violence. I don't know. I feel like a lot of TV shows are that, really. Like, I feel like, we're the times are getting worse and worse, and the craving among the people is like, we want more and more realistic shows about the apocalypse. Because it's like, we want to know everything the survivors do to survive so that we can, take some notes. So that's how it's going to be, huh? Okay, gotcha. It's like they're trying to give us a little survival guide. This is how you do it. Okay. I'm taking the notes. Yeah, just preparing us for the end times. Preparing us for when society, for us, is just kind of like a desperate chug-along time. That's all like this Walking Dead shit and this like Last of Us shit. I'm convinced it's all just like, hey, prepare yourselves. Times are going to get lean. Here's how it's going to be. All right. Get ready. It's like, I don't know. Is that something I want to be ready for? Maybe. TJ, do you like Rick James? I don't have strong feelings. I feel like I couldn't tell you much about Rick James if you fucking really asked me. You started The Last of Us? Yeah, I have started it. I think I'm caught up, actually. I'm caught up on that one. I was going to just wait and binge it, but that just, that just didn't end up how it was, like scrolling, and then it's like, let's watch that. We are always looking for stories can show justified violence so we can get some guilt-free death. No one mourns a zombie. I think that's true too. But like a lot of the people, a lot of the deaths on those shows are humans, I think part of it is to get you used to the idea of like taking life And part of it is to get you used to the idea of watching your loved ones die. I think that this stuff is being like disseminated to us to teach us that this is going to be the world that we're going to be left with after capitalism is done with us. Once they've automated the entire process and like workers are no longer needed, they just, it's like their little educational film, right? Like, here's how you guys are going to do it once we pull the rug out from under the entire human civilization and gallivant off with all the money and resources and stuff. We're going to be in space if you need us, or we're going to be in our New Zealand bunkers. The Mall movie kind of answered that. Yeah. Mall zombie movie, right? Which one? Because there's more than one of those. Dawn of the Dead, probably. You're probably talking about one of the two versions of Dawn of the Dead. Or maybe both. Hi. What's your preferred way to smoke legal tobacco? I don't know. Just as long as it somehow enters my bloodstream or whatever the fuck. New Zealand is where they want you to think they're running off to. Maybe. I mean, I think that they have. I think that they have multiple contingencies. I think they've got their different sort of setups in different places awaiting them, for different scenarios. But I think they have contingency plans upon contingency plans. When I say they, by the way, I'm talking about the extraordinarily wealthy elite that rule our society, who are not any one race or religion or even ideology, just beyond being extremely greedy and realizing that banded together, they can effectively dominate the globe. Not in the shadows, by the way, openly. Right before your very eyes. It's all completely done with, I'm not going to say total transparency, but shocking transparency. They don't hide that they rule the earth. I don't know why some people feel the need to concoct an Illuminati or like the reptilians or any of that stuff, because the real rulers are right out in the open saying, hey, peons, hey, peasants, it's us, the ruling elite. And you guys are like, who are the real ruling elite? Where are they? I don't blame you maybe for not believing these guys, because you see them and they look like a bunch of damn zombies. Like hunched over, bad teeth, big bellies. I'm basically the physical description of one, minus I don't have the money. But like, oh, yeah, we're the ruling elite. Oh, yeah, we're so smart. We're so wise. Yeah. We're the ruling elite. Them. They basically are fucking zombies. Except there's... we live in a zombocracy. We've allowed the zombies to rule. They're shorter. That's true. I got this big lumbering ass frame I got to control. But, TJ's a secret 1%er. That's how he knows. You're not listening. There's no like, oh man, this is all a secret. The whole point of this is it's not a secret. The whole point of this is they're right there. That they publish a list of like, here's all the billionaires in the world. And you go and you look at them and you read their biographies and you realize that they're all joined together as one force. They might have little infights here and there, but they're basically like a super mafia of completely corrupt, exploitative businessmen that rule the entire world and are completely and utterly open about it. And no one no one does anything, no one cares, no one questions it. It just is, and we're all okay with it. Even if we say we're not, we are, because we're not doing anything about it. So that's what's going on, right? Abandoned hope. Abandoned hope is concluded. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye. TJ, the richest men are oil royalty that don't disclose their wealth. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, there's some fucking some fortunes like that are not disclosed. And it's treated as a matter of, oh, well, that's like state secrets or whatever. So you're totally right on that. But the point is that, they're still royalty. Like, the business interests intersect with them directly. See, a royal family is pretty capable of having business dealings all over the world, right? I mean, there's a car company that I, full disclosure, have stock in called Lucid. That's an electric car company that's fucking got a shit ton of financing from the Saudi royal family. They own a shit ton of that car company. They're basically like funding a dude that was on the design team on Tesla. And, now he goes out there and shit talks Elon Musk and says, like, fuck Elon Musk. I was the real brains behind the whole thing. And I'm going to prove it with my Lucid. And the Saudi government's funding the whole damn thing. And, I got that stock because I'm pretty sure at some point they're going to pump that motherfucker. The Saudi royal family ain't making like some weird, yeah, we just keep pouring money into this company because we got no faith that we can make money on it. So I'm pretty sure at some point that motherfucker is going to explode, whether it's because the cars are actually worth a shit or because of just some kind of like stock manipulation. I really don't give a fuck because I got the stock. So hopefully that'll fucking explode one day. A Muslim look. Yeah, that's why. I mean, this is really just like a hat, right? It's this kind of hat. There's nothing particularly Muslim about this hat when seen from the front. But I guess from this angle, looks kind of spooky. I guess especially when combined with the beard. Allah. TJ, you heard of the Vanderbilts? The family of the gardener for the original Vanderbilt is now more wealthy than the actual Vanderbilt descendants today. That doesn't really surprise me. A lot of those super old money families kind of fell into total disrepair. There was a terrible, probably the worst show that Netflix ever put on. What was that shit called? Pompidou or some bullshit? And it was like this weird, fat, British human Teletubby motherfucker that just talked gibberish like, and he came from some like super rich family, but now he was living in a trailer. I thought the concept was kind of interesting, so I tried to watch an episode, and like it took about 3 minutes to know that there was no way the tone of that show was ever going to work for me. And I've never heard anyone mention it other than just with absolute scorn. And even that's pretty rare because I think most people don't ever mention it. TJ kind of looks like a boring British dude who joined ISIS. Man. TJ, does Paul have any hope of getting ideology back? Yeah, I think there's hope of that. I think that it might take a minute, but I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility. I've certainly seen people do it before. but a lot of times it takes a lot of sustained effort. You know, it takes like working on it and working on it and working on it for a long, duration of time, trying to get someone else to look at the case. Uh, 10% of millionaires today inherited less than $1 million. Wealth is not as straightforward as I once believed. 10% of millionaires today inherited less than $1 million. Okay. But like in a lot of instances, that could have been like someone who inherited $500,000 and, a family business, right? So, I mean, even if you inherited $200,000, $300,000, that's a tremendous leg up on the way to $1 million. It's harder. My dad was a guy who, he ran some fucking diploma mills and other shit like that. So he was like definitely on the scammier side of the business world. But my dad knew a thing or two about making money. And one thing he told me was, it's way easier to go from 50,000 to $1 million than it is to go from 0 to 50,000. Because once you have any kind of like capital that you can invest in a venture, that tremendously increases your odds of making some money. So even a person that inherits $50,000, $25,000 for fuck's sake, has a huge, huge, huge advantage in the prospect of making some money in this world. Because it's really fucking hard for someone working a straight job who has no inheritance to save up that kind of money when they're living paycheck to paycheck. So any kind of infusion of sudden, like, hey, it's a nice big pot of money that you can, spend. Some people are going to waste that, but some people are going to be like, maybe I should invest in this, or maybe I should, start a business or whatever the fuck. So yeah, that person who gets even a small inheritance has a tremendous advantage over the people who don't get fucking shit, which is a lot of people. Don't forget inflation and assets appreciating in value, or was the stat adjusted to inflation? I don't know the stat is not available to me. The guy referenced the stat. I don't even know if the stat is actually something that exists. I'm just taking it at face value. I posted the stat wrong. 90% inherited less than 1 million. I feel like that is the same stat, just phrased differently. Oh, 10. Oh, yeah, you did. I figured out what you were saying, though. I even though you did say the wrong thing, I somehow came to the right conclusion. So there you go. Also, becoming a single-digit millionaire is a hell of a lot more obtainable than being a billionaire. I mean, yeah, like that's one thing that people really underestimate when you talk about this stuff. There was that little infographic a while ago that just showed how large the fortune of Jeff Bezos was at the time. And, you saw the fortunes of other people who are thought of as rich in society, like these, Beyonce and stuff. And you'd see her fortune, and it would just be this tiny little blip in this gigantic sea of a fortune that belongs to Jeff Bezos. So like there's a much bigger gap between the millionaires and billionaires than most people really, I think, realize. Obviously, mathematically it's quantifiable, but I think emotionally people don't really recognize how big of a leap that is. Like how beyond just rich or wealthy these people are. Hitting the wall at the moment, going to have to go back to work to get some capital to advance my business. Americans are bad at math. I can't deny it. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. Yes, we're bad at math. It's kind of one of our defining characteristics, right? TJ, can we split a cool mill? I bring the cool. Oh, I see. Gun laws. There's a lot, really. Holy shit, you see that video of a cop bitch slap a dude in the hospital after a unalive attempt? No, I didn't see that. I don't know what it is with Americans and math, but for me, I always just found math to be the most boring subject in school. I think that there are just certain people who are not inclined to the sort of like objective black and white, true or false nature of a math problem. You know? A lot of other subjects in school involve a degree of subjectivity, which offers students the luxury of bullshitting their way through it, right? So you can't bullshit your way through a math answer. That shit has to be right. You can't make a bunch of bullshit up and then somehow arrive at the right answer to the problem. And, Americans don't like that. Americans, we like our shit weird and slippery. We don't like all this cut and dry bullshit. Math, who needs it? But I like math. I'm just not good at math. I'm usually okay at math comprehension, but I'm really crappy at doing problems in my head very quickly. It's something like I have to write shit out and I have to think about it very, very hard. I have to fucking really concentrate because it's so boring to me. Like it's one of the areas where my ADHD shit will just manifest to the nth degree. Because I'll look at a math problem and just be like, what's going on over there? What's this? What's this? Dude. Oh shit. Fucking think. It's math. You have to do math. But once I can wrangle myself, I can do it. But it's so boring. And that was always my problem with math. I just felt like it was always so fucking boring. It was the worst class for that reason. It's a boring fucking class. Everything was so mechanical. There's no fucking creativity to it. There's no fun to it. Just like, here's this number and this number. What happens when this number and this number have this relationship to one another? And these factors occur. Oh, I don't care. They're just numbers. Who gives a shit? Where's the explosions? Where's the tits? Give me some sizzle on this steak. Fuck. I'm not as hateful towards math as I used to be. But when I was a kid, my ADHD was worse then too. Really drove my ass fucking up the wall though. Still don't really do math for fun or anything. Still bad at really doing basic algebra. Not basic algebra. Can't even do basic algebra in my head. Do basic arithmetic in my head. It doesn't come quick. I have to kind of think about it for a second. I don't have that shit memorized. I don't have the times tables memorized. I plus hate equals math. But I feel like it's good for people to know basic math, and I feel like it's good for people to have know their way around a calculator and to know the principles of why math works and all that stuff. But beyond a certain point, leave me alone with the fucking math. You should, there's a point in my life when you can kind of look at me and look at my proclivities and shit and be like, structural engineer? No, it's not going to happen, right? So move me on along to something else, something more akin to my like different way of seeing the world, where I'm, because I'm not interested in like, here's how to concretely understand the world that is. That's valuable. And I definitely want to listen to the people who think that way and give them their domain and trust in their fucking understanding and listen to their reasoning. But beyond that point of like, I am convinced that you generally know what you're doing. I'm sure you'll make mistakes along the way because it's a difficult process, science, but you seem to have that down. Cool. I'm going to go over here and be a fucking cartoon character on the internet. And that's that. And that seems like a good way to do things. Instead of just making me like, all right, time to learn fucking advanced fucking geometry or whatever the fuck bullshit. Spatial geometry fucking 106. I don't know. Leave me alone. Don't fucking come to me with that. I don't need it. I don't want it. Keep it there. Keep it away from me. But then that attitude that I cop to math, then you find out, hey, America ain't doing so good. It's like, oh, fuck, what? What's wrong? It's like, I don't know, the population's making really ill-informed decisions. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's like they don't even understand basic math or something. It's like, oh, fuck, I'm part of the problem. I should have listened to more math. I didn't realize a population not knowing math was an existential threat to the fucking world. No one ever told me that. I had to figure that out for myself one day. In a horrifying revelation. Like, they should have told me that as a kid. They should have told me like, hey, if you personally don't learn this shit, the world is fucked. Okay? Our fate is in your hands, kid. Fucking focus on your math. No one fucking said that shit. That was way bigger stakes. Let me in on that fucking little secret and I'll fucking crunch the numbers, man. I'll try harder. But no one told me that. All they told me is like, you're not going to carry a calculator around with you everywhere you go. You're going to need this. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to need this. And I was right. I pretty much never needed it. Few times I had to do math for like a video. A lot of times if I thought about, here's a video I want to do, and then I realized like, I'm going to have to do math if I make that video. Then it's like, man, this better be a fucking good video. Because if it's not, I don't want to fucking have to go through the fucking arduous task of doing math. Because I got to not only do the math, but I got to 100% make sure that my stupid ass got the math right. I have to double and triple and quadruple check that shit. Because if I make one little math error, a bunch of math nerds are going to be like, nah! So you can't fucking do it. You got to make sure your math fucking adds the fuck up. So a lot of times I just kind of steer clear of the whole fucking math thing. But if it creeps up on me, you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes, the pursuit of a better reality does involve understanding the one you're in. So you can't always avoid math. That's why I think basic math literacy is a good thing. But I also think trying to, teach a fish to ride a bicycle is not the greatest fucking thing to do, because it's not, what I mean? Like, not everybody is fucking suited to math. I think everyone should be able to do some basic things in math, but beyond a certain point, let it be for the people who it's for. And I'm sure, that is how it is now to a point, but I think we take it too far. I have a calculator everywhere I go on my phone, so they lied to me. Yeah, that's the thing. The one thing they told me was fucking false. They should have let me know this is a fucking existential threat. Maybe they didn't know that. Maybe they didn't realize yet. You got a populace that doesn't believe in reality anymore. Man. Abandon hope. You specialize in the edge lord build rather than the engineer path. Right. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing fucking wrong with that, okay? The world has some engineers and the world has some edgelords, and I believe both serve their function. Do I believe that edgelords are more important than engineers? No. I think engineers are probably more important than edgelords, but do I think edgelords are important? Yes. And do I think occasionally an edgelord can become more important than an engineer? Yes. Because sometimes you need an edgelord to push back against an overly restrictive fucking society. Okay? That's kind of like a big part of the main function. Also, just entertaining. Also, is able to say the fucking taboo things that other people might want to say but can't in their particular social group. And so they get a little vicarious thrill seeing some other fucking, primate say the goddamn shit. Right. Yeah, I mean, like, we got too many 9/11 truthers to think that that math matters to people, okay? Like, you ever notice that these 9/11 truthers, they're always, like, super brilliant people on the subject of 9/11 and nothing else? Like, you never hear them talk about any other scientific curiosities they might have. But, like, the second the 9/11 topic comes up, it's like, oh, man, you see how it collapsed into its own footprint? What about Building 7? What if jet fuel can't melt steel beams, motherfucker? Ah, it doesn't make sense. It should have been much more of a seismic reaction on the Richter scale. Ah! I mean, they got all these little talking points they've worked out. And it's like, oh, man, all of a sudden they're fucking engineers. I remember they used to have a website. Maybe they still have it. It was like Engineers for 9/11 Truth. They had like, like some handful of like crazy ass engineers that were like, yeah, it doesn't make sense. And I'm like, what's the general consensus among engineers? Never you mind that. Because like by gigantic like margins, most engineers who have looked into that have said that most aspects of the fucking story make fucking perfect sense with the laws of physics and structural engineering and shit. But yet, even to this day, you still see these 9/11 truthers all over the goddamn place. And that was just like opening the floodgates for fucking QAnon shit and fucking all the whatever the fuck birtherism. All this other crazy horse shit that's happened since in our post-truth reality. I don't know if that was the first instance. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But it's definitely an interesting one. Still waiting for evidence of a plane hitting the Pentagon. I mean, there is a little bit more to that, I think, because there's just not like as many video angles available to us as there was when the towers were hit. We saw the towers get hit by the planes from like multiple vantage points on live TV, and people were there to witness it live. I mean, it was happening in a gigantic metropolitan area. So many witnesses saw exactly that go down. But like, when it comes to the plane and the Pentagon, there's like a handful of security cameras where you look at it and you're just like, I don't know. But I mean, there is fucking footage of them cleaning up wreckage from a plane. But, who knows? I guess you could say it's all a setup. But I feel like that's an overly convoluted explanation. It seems like the simpler explanation is just like there was a plane there. Motherfuckers watch Zeitgeist and decide to make it their whole personality. I love when the dudes from Zeitgeist, it was Loose Change. I love when the guys from Loose Change debated those dudes from Popular Mechanics on 9/11 truth, and it was just like they got their I mean, like, well, I watched it and I saw the loose change guys get their asses completely fucking handed to them. Now, I've stated that sentiment before, and people have told me, like, no, the other guys totally dominated the loose change guys. But to me, that's just part of living in the post-truth reality. People can listen to fucking science clash against the bullshit they want to believe, and the bullshit they want to believe wins 9.5 times out of 10. This Project Bluebeam shit had breathed new life in it. But that, I mean, like, that's the thing, is like, it's just going to get recycled and recycled forever. You know, it dies down for a little bit as people argue about it. And it's like, okay, well, here's the facts. And, you know, most people are like, yeah, these facts generally seem to make sense. So, all right. I think it's, you know, maybe, I mean, you got some interesting ideas here and there, but I don't know. I'm not really convinced. And, you know, then it kind of fades away. And then, you know, a few years go by and then someone's like, hey, let's dust off this old chestnut. And then the next thing you know, bam, it's back. It's not changed at all. It hasn't been like updated for now. The same bullshit that was debunked before is now back to be debunked again. We're looking at that same shit with religion right now. All the Christians are back on YouTube spouting the same bullshit they spouted before. For a while, these motherfuckers weren't uploading shit to the platform. They were totally under siege. And then everyone decided, no, atheism cringe, atheism bad. You know, everyone already knows, blah, blah, blah. And we let those religious fucks go back and lick their wounds. And now they're back with a vengeance, trying to fucking take over society again. And this time, I don't know if we can stop them. But I'll tell you what, if we fucking get those motherfuckers on the retreat again, and then you fuckers tell us to let up, like, oh man, it's cringe. Fuck you. Fuck you, man. We're going all the way this time. TJ, to be fair, they knew about the attack intention beforehand. Our army trained the pilots on how to fly, not land. And then it was also used to fuel a complete garbage war. How is that just a coincidence? Okay, so first of all, a lot of things are coincidences, man. Like, coincidences happen all the time. That's why we have a word called coincidence. Also, it's really not even much of a coincidence. Like, the U.S. government using an international tragedy to its advantage, if that's now a litmus for, like, this is fake. Look, the government used it to their advantage, therefore it must be fake. If that's the case, then you don't believe that anything has happened, literally, in the entirety of American history. Because they've always done that. It doesn't matter what happens. If anything goes down in this country, we're always, you know, the government is always going to find some way to spin it to their advantage. They're always going to spin a narrative where they're the innocent good guys and something that they never liked in the first place is the bad guy. You know, like, we had a tremendous fucking geopolitical interest in the view of neoconservatives to go into Iraq. They loved that place. They always planned to go there. So if you were going to, like, just craft a narrative to get us there, you would think you would say we were attacked by them directly. Instead, they pivoted off of Afghanistan. Well, you'll notice we no longer are. Because, you know, I mean, we were able to fucking extract some minerals from that, but ultimately not a juicy enough target for us to want to stay long term. We got bigger and better fish to fry here in the Empire of America. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, because the U.S. government acted opportunistically towards 9/11, that's not enough to convince me that they themselves orchestrated 9/11. Did they know about it? yeah, there was a CIA report that said that Osama bin Laden was going to crash jets into the World Trade Center. That's a fact. But how many of those reports come across a desk every day, right? Like, some terrorist is planning to attack America. Sure, that makes sense, I guess. But, you know, how far along is he? When's he going to do it? Where's it happening? You know, if none of those things are in the report, if it's just like he has, you know, there's a plan, then, you know, what really can you fucking do about it? So, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they were on high alert and shit. So the thing that actually, I think the things that give me the most pause are there were certain transactions that were made the day before 9/11 that seem kind of suspicious. Like selling off airline stocks and shit. So something like that, to me, that's like, that's very unusual, right? So something like that, I can give some credence to. Something like maybe like the furthest I would go in entertaining a 9/11 conspiracy, the furthest that I could see being a feasible narrative with the facts that I have been presented with is, and I'm not saying I believe this narrative, I'm just saying this is the most conspiratorial narrative I think is supported by evidence. The US government knew about the attack, knew it was going to happen, decided for geopolitical reasons that, hey, maybe it's in our best interest to let this happen. And then did nothing to stop it. And in fact, you know, had a plan in place and facilitated it and knew what was going on at all times. And then used it to spin a fanciful notion about Iraq. And then, you know, took us to war in Iraq under the false pretenses presented by, Colin Powell to the UN and shit. That'd be about as crazy conspiracy as I'd be willing to go. Because I don't think there's any evidence for like controlled demolitions or the plane wasn't real or the Pentagon was a missile or any of this fucking shit. I just don't feel like the evidence there is good enough to fucking possibly justify those beliefs. Okay, they didn't allow it do it themselves, but allowing it to happen and allowing those lives to die so you can use an opportunistic isn't almost, if not as atrocious. It is as atrocious, but it's something that's actually, I wouldn't say supported by the evidence, but it's something that's not contradicted directly by the evidence that we possess. I can't think of any fact in evidence that casts doubt on it, but I also don't see too much suggesting it either. The evidence suggesting it is pretty thin. I don't think it would hold up as beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. None of that matters. It's like talk about the type of gun used in a massacre. I mean, the type of gun used in a massacre could matter. Any fact about something like this, I think, matters. Like, you can't just say what's true and what's reasonable to believe doesn't matter. You can't, I mean, like, would you be satisfied if a murderer was convicted on false pretenses or planted evidence? If so, congratulations, you're in favor of police corruption. You know what I mean? Like, we have to care about the facts. Even when lies maybe arguably serve the greater good, I think following the truth is a higher good than any sort of temporary good that might come from a lie. That's a fundamental belief that I possess. That's probably the closest thing I have to a religion. It's just strange that every time we have a national tragedy, there's a slime trail leading back to our own government. Is that really strange? I mean, is that really strange? Like, let's say that you are a crazy serial killer, like Dexter from the series Dexter. Like, a lot of people in Dexter's life end up being killed, not directly by him, but by people that he has enraged in some way due to his being a crazy serial killer. When you're a crazy serial killer, you're not just putting your victims and yourself at risk, you're also putting anybody around you at risk, because the blowback might affect them, or someone might come there looking to kill you and see them and decide to kill them instead. You know, and that's basically where the bed America finds itself in is, you know, they've done so much evil, heinous shit around the globe that sometimes it comes back to bite them in the ass. And then a bunch of Americans die, and then the government goes, oh man, they just hate us for our freedom, I guess. It's like, it couldn't be the stuff we're doing. No way. It's like, it is. It is the stuff you're doing. Stop. Sure, that's true with being Spider-Man too. Fair enough. But like, the point is, if you're going out there, you know, engaging in some sort of warfare with other people, there's always the possibility that they're going to, you know, take revenge, not just on you directly, but on the people you love or the people around you. And it's no different with governments. The United States government causes widespread devastation across the globe, and sometimes revenge for that devastation is going to affect American citizens. Remember Benghazi? Not really, honestly. Benghazi was something I paid attention to when it was something that was in the headlines. And I looked into it to decide what I thought about this. And I decided I don't think I care about this. And ever since then, when someone says the word Benghazi to me, I kind of just like go like, uh-huh. And that's pretty much that. That's my relationship to Benghazi. Talk about retaliation. I'm talking about a conspiracy towards its own citizens. I understand the distinction, but someone asked why there was always a slime trail leading to back to the United States government. And I think it's because the United States government is at war with or in bed with all of the actors that might do harm to, you know, American citizens, which I'm not saying our government would never do itself. Clearly there have been plenty of instances where they have. But I don't think you can put everything at their feet. I think you're granting them powers I don't think they actually have. You're granting them competency I don't think they actually have, by the way. Remember when people genuinely thought Obama was the Antichrist? I'm sure it was totally not racially motivated. Yeah, none of the hatred of Obama was motivated by race. It was entirely concerns about his experience level and the possibility that maybe he was born of a foreign nation. I am recounting stupid conspiracy theories here, YouTube. I am not endorsing them, just in case there is any confusion here. Remember when people genuinely thought Obama was the Antichrist? Oh, I already read that. Sorry. YH, I just meant it as an example of a heinous thing that backfired on the U.S. Yeah, I mean, well, there's multiple threads of conversation going on where certain people are talking past each other in the dialogue. It's sort of an inevitable result of I think this, a live chat as a forum for this kind of discussion. You'd be surprised what evil people would do to maintain their power. Not really. I don't think I would. I don't think I'd be surprised at all. And that's another thing that TV shows have been preparing us for. They show us, like, what happens when a bunch of rich cocksuckers fight for power? Oh, interesting. What happens when everything is destroyed and you fucking have to live in a post-apocalyptic hellscape? Oh. A lot of TV shows preparing us for the recent future, or the near future, I guess, is the phrase you'd use. All the buildings across the river from DC are defense contractors. No shock there. I don't know if that's actually true, but it might as well be. There's so many crisis actors. How come you never see a casting call? Oh, man. You'll just believe anything the government tells you, huh? You know? They put it out there. They just tell those folks, you're in a zombie movie. You're in a zombie movie. Just run and scream. Yeah, you're in a zombie movie. And that person, later they see themselves running and screaming on CNN. Like, holy shit, I was used. But they don't dare speak up because, you know, by then the government has threatened them. I don't know. That's how it works. Okay, TJ, so you're saying you understand that the government not only acts in ways that directly hurt the people, but also indirect ways like geopolitical meddling. However, there's not a conspiracy. How? Because they do most of that shit out in the open. Like, America's geopolitical meddling is not a hidden activity. It's like broadcast. Like, most of what they do is just put a positive spin on it. I'm not saying they never lie to us. Clearly they fucking do. But, like, don't overstate the case. That's all I'm saying to you. I mean, I don't have any particular love for the United States government, so I just don't think any lie is justified. Like, you have a weird thing where you can't seem to distinguish that, like, the concern here is preservation of actual facts and not, you know, whether or not they meet an emotional criteria that you have or not. You know, and you continuously like, so you admit they're evil and yet you defend them. It's like, I'm not defending them. I'm defending, like, truth and skepticism and the ability to reason through things and the ability to, like, look at evidence and not be biased by, you know, personal feelings. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe we can get to that place together, huh? Think Alex Jones once brought up some obviously fake casting call adverts from Craigslist. Wants his evidence for that. Oh my god, dude, what an embarrassing fuck, dude. Alex Jones, though, he's got some showmanship acumen. I'll never fail to give him props for that. There's literally a YouTube video where someone from the U.S. government explains how they meddled in my country's election and politics. It's not a secret. Yeah, I mean, like, this stuff is done very out in the open. And really, like, when you try to bring this up to a lot of Americans, they just endlessly justify it. It's very strange that there's no, I don't know. Like, you would think whether you're right, whether they're right wing or left wing, a lot of times people will just defend crazy shit the government does. It's like, well, they're trying to keep us safe. It's like, really? You think that's their main goal? You think the main goal of the United States government is they're desperately trying to keep us safe? That's the main thing you think is going on here? Because the evidence would suggest something slightly different. But okay. Are you okay with white lies like telling a 5-year-old their dog moved to a farm? When my cat died, they just told me, but I'm curious what you think. Yeah, I believe in honesty in that situation. Like, unless this kid has got, like, some serious, like, trauma issues or something, and that was, like, you know, if you believe that they can emotionally handle it and you're just withholding that information because you don't want to, like, see them hurt or whatever, then I think you're doing them a disservice. I think you need to let them process death. You know, they need to understand that. They need to learn that lesson. So I don't think, you know, oh, he went off to a farm. I think you need to fucking let him know, like, he's dead. Like, he's not alive anymore. You know, some people say he's off in a magical place. Some people say he's nowhere. We don't really know. Nowhere seems more likely. Sorry. And let him cry it out. Let him come face to face with the horror of mortal existence. Because it builds a little character, okay? And it's something you have to accept. You can't go through life terrified of death because everyone's going to die. So Yeah, it's important to fucking process it. It's important to recognize it. And I think there's very few instances where maybe someone is just like too fragile to handle that truth. But, you know, I don't know. You got to use your own discretion, I guess, to a point. I'd be pissed if my parents only took my dog to a farm. Yeah, you'd be like, fuck that. Bring him back. Why the hell did you take him to a farm? He liked it here. We're like, he's my friend. Bring him back here. I don't want him to be at a farm. He's happier at the farm. No, he's not. He loves me. Bring him back here. This is absurd. Fuck you. Chat test 1 2 3. Chat test 1 2 3. Oh, I'm not saying there is a secret cabal or that there's a concrete accusation. However, it seems fairly rational that coming major event that fuels an otherwise unfavorable act, it's a thing. I don't know what you're trying to. I don't know what you're saying. I don't think I agree, but I'm not sure because I don't really understand what you're saying. Yeah, like the Santa thing. I mean, it's just dumb. Like, I get it. You're trying to, like, the world still has magic in it or whatever the fuck. But, you know, teach them to appreciate the magic of reality, all right? There's plenty of things in reality that are pretty fucking interesting and magical. I don't think we need to make up fucking ridiculous fat men. Like, if you want to tell them that as a story, like, oh, yeah, we're going to play pretend, you know, we're going to pretend there's Santa, da-da-da-da-da, and, you know, it's all pretend. He's not real. Like, if you want to do that, okay, cool. But, like, there's a giant fat man that's going to come down our chimney and give us presents now. I don't know. Why? Is that really so fucking magical? Look how jolly he is. It's like a demon. Santa makes Christmas fun. Gift day sucks without him. I mean, I feel like it's just fine. I feel like I don't, you know, once I got the present, you know, I don't care if it's from a magical old elf in the fucking North Pole or if it's from my mom and dad. I'd rather it just be from them so I can, you know, I can know its origins. I always thought it was weird too when I was a kid. I was like, how come Santa is making like name brand shit up at his factory at the North Pole? Shouldn't this be like North Pole Santa's Workshop branded merchandise? Shouldn't it be like way more splendid and interesting than the stuff that like there's supposed to be elves in a workshop making these toys? Like an elf made my Super Soaker 300? Huh? That doesn't make sense. I never got that shit. There's room for fantasy in a child's life, you piece of shit. Yeah, I agree. There's room for fantasy. There's room for fantasy. Let them fantasize, sure. But, like, why do you got to tell them it's real? Why do you got to tell them this? Oh, yeah, Santa's a real thing. Why do you tell them, oh, there's a giant bunny rabbit just coming for you? There's a magical man that lives in the sky that created the universe, and if you whisper into your hands to him, you know, you get to go to a magical paradise when you die. But if you don't do that, you're going to go to a land of fire to burn forever. That one's a little more elaborate. Santa people are cringe when they get ultra offended at people who don't believe. I mean, what do you mean Santa people? Wait, are there people who literally believe in Santa still? Because if so, abandon hope. Abandon hope. I was threatened with no gifts when I realized Santa was bullshit. You don't get punished for not believing in Pinocchio. Yeah, it's really weird. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. I'm 30 and my parents still put from Santa on my presents. It's sweet. Yeah. You know, it is sweet. That's a very good point. Do your parents think you still believe in Santa? Do you still believe in Santa? No, of course not. Are you still having fun with Santa as a fucking fantasy? Yes. And that's the fucking point. Let Santa be a fun fantasy character. Or, you know, for fucks, let a kid fucking decide who gets to bring their presents. Your favorite fictional characters coming to you to bring you a present. This one's from Sonic the Hedgehog. It's like, okay, fun, sure. Let them have some fucking fantasy. I don't care. That's not the issue here. The issue is presenting lies as though they're reality. You know, you're basically like using their gullibility against them at that point. And teaching them to be fucking chumps. I celebrated Christmas with my grandparents one year and they dragged me to a Catholic midnight mass. Oh, God. That sucks. And lo, Jesus was born. I really don't know what a Catholic mass is like. You know, like super long. There isn't like a lot of standing and sitting and standing again. I always found it funny how my Christian relatives would say how Santa is all make-believe, then proceed to go to mass and pray to Jesus. Well, you can always let them know. It's a chance for the priest to scope the available options. Oh, man. Brutal. Sitting through Catholic Mass for 8 years as a kid is what drove me away from religion. I believe it. I knew Jesus was bullshit before I figured out Santa was bullshit, if that says anything about Christianity. They actually give you more reason to believe in Santa than Jesus. Because at least with Santa, he brings you material things. It's like, here you go. This is a thing that came to you from Santa. No one ever gives you a present from Jesus. No one ever gives you any physical evidence of Jesus whatsoever. I mean, with Santa, it turns out the chain of custody was compromised on that evidence, but still. At least there is some. So Jesus is actually more plausible. Sorry, Santa is actually more plausible than Jesus. In Venezuela, Santa didn't bring our presidents. Baby Jesus did. Weird how it was specifically baby Jesus and not grown Jesus. Dude, what a terrible job. You got to be baby Jesus delivering gifts. Like, you don't even have, like, hand strength yet. You're a baby. A baby going around with a fucking big sack of presents on its back? Oof. That's brutal. Kind of metal. God is a libertarian. Oh, shit. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Good night. The end. The fucking end, bro. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm supposed to do a show. Never mind. Sorry. Supposed to, like, watch video clips, I guess. Here you go. So this was sent to me by a couple people. This is I guess a sketch or a short film, something like that. Teacher caught grooming student to be trans. The then ending will shock you by Samir Bhavnani. And when deciding whether I was going to watch this, I scrolled down. I read the first comment. Thank you so much. I just showed this to my child, and they are no longer suicidal from being bullied at school for being non-binary. Now my child is suicidal from how bad this video is. So that was when I decided, like, okay, we have to watch this video. So let's take a goddamn gander, I guess, right? There's no use fucking delaying it. I'm gonna make myself a little smaller.
Hey, son. What's going on here?
What's going on here? Hey, son. What's going on here?
I borrowed some of Mom's fingernail paint. Doesn't it look cool, Daddy?
What a read. I borrowed some of my fingernail. Why is he talking like salad fingers? Well, that reaction shot. The guy is just like, looks at the doll and she's like, all right. Whoa. I love that little nod. He's like, I'm gonna do something about this. Gotta fucking do something about this shit.
Been doing some new amazing videos with my daughter on her YouTube channel. I would love for you to check it out. You can click the link above or the link in the description. I'll also pin it to the top of the comment section.
No. Is this part of the video now? Or is this more trailer?
My beautiful baby boy. I love you so much.
All right, here we go.
I'll always be there to take care of you, my son.
Man, remember when acting used to like require acting? Remember that? Remember when actors used to have to be actors? Remember those days? Wow. Now you see why. Jesus Christ, bro. Oof. This opening scene of Fallout 3. I would have flung the disc across the room. Yeah, there was still discs back then.
Oh, good catch, son. Get your Hall of Fame right there.
Hey, Howard. Hey, great barbecue you got going on here today, man.
Hey, Jim. Thanks, man. No problem. Always fun to...
Hey, Jim. Thanks, man. No problem. Always good to have you here, Jim. Always good for you to come around here, Jim. I love you. Wait, what you doing? You wearing pink? You wearing pink? Obviously. You have a feminine side you're trying to hide, don't you? Oh, yeah, you're violating... This pink shit. That's coded femme, bro. What are you doing? You fucking have transgressed against gender norms, my friend.
have a get together.
Well, thanks for the invite. I know Alexa really loves it.
Alexa? I didn't know you had a daughter. I thought you had a son. Where is he?
Sorry, Jim.
Sorry, Jim. Did I say something wrong?
Well, it's not Alex anymore. It's actually Alexa.
You changed his name?
Well, I didn't change it, and it's more than just his name that's changed.
Oh, that little girl is Alex? Isn't he?
The defeat. Oh, the disappointed dad trope, man. You know, like, you ever notice that in most instances of fiction where there is a dad that is, you know, like ashamed of their child, the moral of that story typically is like, that dad is in the wrong and they should understand that their child is going to have their own identity. But now the narrative is now like, man, your kid's been brainwashed, bro. You got to stop that shit. I mean, and this is not just like the woke era shit either. You can even watch like old cartoons like about that owl family. Remember that old cartoon about the owls? And the all the kids are musicians, but they're all very like classically trained, proper musicians. And then there's the one kid that wants to sing jazz. And they're like, get out of my house, because they're all German. And then it's like, no, you can sing about the moon and the June and the spring. You know, and like the moral is like, don't be a fucking prick to your kid. Let them have their own thing. They're not going to be your little clone. You need to accept it now. Now it's like, no, you don't. No, you don't need to accept that. It's perfectly fine to force your kid to conform to your identity. Okay.
He or she too young to make that decision?
It's the day in schools, Albert. I agreed to let my son take these sexual education classes. And then
It's the dang schools, Albert. I agreed to let my son take these sexual education classes, and the next thing you know, Albert, he's a little bitch. He's out there. He's a little girl now. It makes me mad. Okay.
this happens.
Whoa, really? I got that same email a few days ago from the school, Jim. I thought Sammy Joe was too young. But hey, we had sex ed. What's the big deal?
But hey, we had sex ed. What the big deal? So I agreed to let Xavier go. Xavier is lost, my friend. No, if Xavier has gone to the sex ed class, he is well and truly lost. Kiss Xavier goodbye. Welcome into your home, Xavinia, or whatever the fuck. Because them Xavier days is over. They're flipping the genders of all these kids now. The ultimate fear will be realized.
So I agreed to let Xavier go.
Well, it's not the same as it used to be, Albert. Yeah, when we were growing up, they used to separate the boys and the little girls and talk about very gender-specific traits. And now it's about everybody being equal, and you decide.
No. No, not equal, God, no. Equality. Oh, when will it stop? When will it end? No. I don't even know whether I should be zeroing in on just like how bad and cringy the acting and performances are, or how this motherfucker that somehow agreed to be in this shit cannot stop smirking as he reads these lines. It's like, yeah, Xavier, these days all the kids are being turned into trans. What, dude? Okay, yeah. Oh, they're all, it's happening, dude. Oh, yeah, they're trans in all of them. It's over for us. Really? This is supposed to be serious. Okay. I'm getting paid, right? $15. Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
Decide your gender in this class by the things you like.
Oh my goodness, serious?
If you like the wrong things, they're going to give you the wrong gender. So the contention of this video, as of now, is that at school, they take a bunch of 7-year-olds, they put them in a class, and then they're like, so, Billy, you like anything, what were your interests? Yeah, I like football. Football, okay, yeah, yeah, that's not going to do it. What else you like? you like My Little Pony, Billy? No. Like, how about that new She-Ra on Netflix? You seen that? Oh, yeah, that's kind of neat. Oh, Billy, shit. Oh, shit, Bill. What, you like She-Ra? Okay, well, it turns out, Billy, you're not a boy. What? That's right, you're not a boy. It's time for us to start your gender reassignment surgery. I'll schedule you to see Dr. Phillips tomorrow. Like, what the fuck, bro? I love this far-fetched conservative right-wing shit. The only thing that makes this fucking scary instead of just purely funny is the fact that there are motherfuckers out there eating it up like, yeah, that's how it is, brother. That's what's going on.
Seriously?
Yeah, Alex just said he liked that singer Billy.
Look at your fingers, TJ. They got you already. What are you talking about? This? You talking about this shit? Nah, they didn't get me. I used to be a man. What have they done to me? The gender mafia. Oh, God. Yeah, sure thing. Billie Eilish. What?
Eilish,
Billie Eilish?
or whatever her name is. You know, that's one of his favorite performers. And that
Oh, God. First, you know, you see the boy's out there. He's listening to Billie Eilish. The next thing you know, chopping his dick and balls off. That's just how it goes. You can't let him do that stuff. You gotta leave them home. Educate them in the ways of the Bible, like a good Christian household would.
I opened up a can of worms. And so the teachers started pointing out that he might be a little girl trapped in a boy's body.
Wait, so how?
So teachers started pointing out he might be a little girl trapped in a boy's body, you know? What are reads? Take two? You want to do a take two on that, motherfucker?
Your wife dealing with this?
Well, it's hard, Albert. It's really hard on the family. And the next day, Alex started wanting us to call him Alexa. Well, at first we thought he was kidding, but then he started not to want haircuts anymore. You know, I'm an 80s guy, Albert. I'm not used to this type of stuff.
Yeah, man. Things are different now. I'm all for trans rights.
Yup. Amen, bro. Hell yeah. Trans rights, trans rights, trans rights, trans rights. But it's gone too far. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Look, when a trans person was something I saw on the TV, that was okay. But now there's going to be trans people in my day-to-day life. I don't know about that. I'm kind of scared. I don't really want it. Take it away. We need to do something. It's gone too far. More precisely, it's gotten too close.
But the grooming's too much, especially at a young age.
Seriously.
Shouldn't that say X specially? Put a little C there. X specially. Come on.
Age.
Seriously. Back in the day, you know, there were haters that went out of their way to persecute the LGBT community, you know, which I'm totally against.
Back in the day, like 50 million years ago or something, there used to be some fucking knuckle-dragging cavemen fucks that would, they weren't too nice to the LGBTs and all that. But, that shit's over. And I condemn that shit that happened, burning them and shit. But all I'm saying is, like, don't let them into school. You know what I mean? Don't let that shit happen around here. You know what I mean? Get that shit the fuck away from me is all I'm saying. You know, it's too much to ask. It's too much to fucking ask now.
Nobody should be hated on for who they are. But also, it's too young for a kid's mind. They're still learning about life and who they are.
Right. Right. That's a good point. They are still learning about life and who they are. All the more reason why, like, different avenues of exploring that should be open to them, right? Right?
I agree.
Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? I don't think you do. I'm gonna be honest with you, sir. I'm a little bit incredulous about that statement, but okay. TJ3, your mic track should peak at 8 dB. If it gets close to 4 BD once in a while for intense volumes. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah, I feel like it's fine. -8 dB. I don't know. Yeah, I like being a little loud. Fuck you. I ain't that far off. I'm a little bit in the louder end than I'm supposed to be, but I don't give a shit.
So Jim told me some news about his son, Alex.
You mean Alexa?
Oh,
You mean Alexa? You talking about Alexa, boy? That's what you talking about? You talking about Alexa? Cause guess what? I support the trans community, and I'm gonna be unreasonable bitch. I'm gonna tell you right now, I support them trans. And if you got something to say against that, you a bad man. You a bad father. You ain't no damn good. You a piece of shit. Fuck you.
you know?
Yeah.
Don't you think it's a bit young for him to make that change?
What's the big deal?
Oh, I mean, it's not a big deal. But he's saying they groomed him in that sex education class. I'm thinking maybe we shouldn't send Xavier.
Seriously, Albert? I didn't realize you were so transphobic.
What?
Oh man, she gonna call me transphobic? Come on, what? I didn't say nothing transphobic. I'm just trying to be reasonable here, girl.
I'm just trying to be a reasonable fucking person. Why?
Come on, Raven. I'm not transphobic. I just want a son to be.
A son?
And you don't have a problem with?
Oh shit, drug money, drug money, drug money, drug money. I'm not transphobic. I just don't want my own child to have the option to explore their gender identity in that way. Is it transphobic to prevent someone from discovering who they truly are? If that's transphobic, I guess I'm transphobic, but
That?
No. If our son is happy being a boy, then let him be a boy. If he decides otherwise,
wait, why is you wrote this woman to be the villain and she still makes more sense than you? Oh God. You made the antagonist that we're supposed to go against. Oh, wait, she's going to convert later, huh? She'd be like, I used to think trans people were legit, but now I realize they all evil trying to brainwash my son. Is that what's going to happen? Is that the plot point? Okay, let's see. I'm invested. I'll give him
let
that.
him. Whatever makes him happy.
Or her. Come on now. Or her.
What exactly is really the problem, Albert?
It's just he's too young to make that decision.
But he's not.
He's not making the fucking decision. This is like, yeah, I agree. He's too young to make the decision. Sure. He's too young to make but is he too young to explore the possibility? Really?
Too young to play Mortal Kombat and rip people's heads off.
Wow. Also a good point. Yeah, they're definitely going to, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what level of incompetent this filmmaker is. I mean, obviously they're not great at coaching actors. I don't know what they understand about story structure, but having the person who's like supposed to be the opposing position make this much sense in what's blatantly a piece of propaganda, I'm not sure. Cause like she's making pretty legitimately decent points for a person having this argument.
Or still cars playing Grand Theft Auto.
Babe, those are video games.
You know his favorite character in Mortal Kombat is Katana. Maybe that's who he wants to be in real life.
See, that is a stretch. See, this guy is obsessed. The guy who made this, which I think is the guy we're looking at. I'm not 100% sure on that. But the guy who made this seems to be obsessed with the idea that, like, what's happening is any boy who shows interest in, like, a female video game character or anything that's female associated whatsoever is instantly just branded a trans kid and immediately, like, start him on the regimen, start him on the path to surgery. And it's just like, that's not real. That's a fucking, like, that's transphobic to even put that fucking theory forth because that's not reality.
I think he picks her because he finds her attractive.
Oh gosh.
Maybe. Okay. Now she's being stupid. Yeah, because both of those are possible. Maybe he likes Katana because he's attracted to Katana. Maybe he likes Katana because he empathizes and wants to be like Katana. Maybe he likes Katana's weapon. Maybe he just feels like maybe he's played all the characters and she's like just the most fun to button mash with for him. Maybe he just like happened upon one of Katana's cool moves and was like, I like doing that move. That's a fun move to spam. Like there could be any number of fucking explanations about the kid's preference for Katana as a character, okay? So I don't know why we're doing this weird, thing where we got to like try to figure out why the kid likes Katana and then, she's got a theory, he's got a theory, his theory's mansplaining. I mean, like, it's just getting weird.
Mansplaining. Wake up, Albert. It's a new age.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Why does the villain always make more sense than the so-called hero? I mean, I find that's the case even in mainstream movies, to be fair to this amateur filmmaker here. Is this guy that I'm looking at also the filmmaker? He has the energy of a dude that puts himself as the main character in his productions. So I'm assuming this guy is also the writer-director of this. But if I'm wrong about that, let me know, I guess.
I really don't think this class is going to be a big deal. It's going to teach our son about all genders. It's good for him. I know you wanted a boy over a girl. Is that what this is all about?
It's not about that. I wanted a girl. girl as much as I wanted a boy, but
Starting to get really fucking bored with this extremely tedious conversation. Can we establish something new here? Can we like change the tone? Can we have like one of them get heated? Can some kind of twist happen? I don't know. I'm getting really kind of bored with this very direct, like, I don't know, dialogue that doesn't seem to have any twists or turns or plots, plot twists to it, or, big emotional crescendos. It's all delivered in the same flat monotone. And that's basically it. Like, there's no conviction in any of this dialogue, even when they're arguing about there's whether or not their kid has the right to explore different, gender possibilities at their age. And, both of them have, like, she has a vested interest in, like, he should be able to be open-minded. And he has a vested interest in, like, no, he's too young to even consider those kind of things. And so they both have, like, a tremendous amount of, like, vested interest in being passionate in this conversation. And yet they're arguing about it less passionately than, a couple would argue about where to go out for dinner. Like, it's just, like, all flatly delivered, like, no emotion put into it, no real, like, shows of concern for the kid. Just like, I am now reading my line. I am now reading mine. And this is what I say in response. Well, this is how I retort to your response. And it's like, that's it. And that's a pretty dull as dirt fucking scene.
You know what? It seems like you're getting upset. Should I set up an appointment with
Does it? Wait, it seems like he's getting upset? When? Hold on. Let's go back and see him getting upset.
Oh, you wanted a boy over a girl. Is that what this is all about?
it's not about that. I wanted a girl as much as I wanted a boy, but
You know what? It seems like you're getting upset.
Oh yeah, he seemed like he was about to fly off the handle, dude. You could tell. Going back, looking at that shit, holy fuck. Get out of there before he hits you or something. He seems pissed. He's on the rampage. TJ, increase the speed. You're watching Abandon Hope, bro. No. You don't get to watch this slower. You don't get to fucking ask me for mercy. You get to watch this, and you get to watch me watch this, and you get to watch me comment on this, and then you get to leave. Or you can leave before that. I'm not literally keeping you hostage, but yeah, I'm not gonna give you the mercy of speeding it up. I'm not gonna give you the mercy of slowing it down. Well, that wouldn't be a mercy at all. I'm not gonna give you the mercy of speeding it up. I'm not gonna give you the mercy of skipping forward. We're gonna sit here and we're gonna watch this piece of shit. That's what we're gonna do.
Should I set up an appointment with our counselor?
no. It's okay, Raven. It's cool. I'm cool. He can take the class.
Raven wins. Not by logic, though. She has to win by, like, blackmail. You want to go see the counselor again? No, Raven. Please, not the fucking counselor. The counselor always agrees with you. That's right, bitch.
Okay, thanks.
And later that night, he was pegged by Raven. Or that's just where my mind takes it. I don't know.
I have this work to focus on.
I really hate how he's, like, kind of in this shot as a pink blur over here. But whatever. Oh, God. Dude, no. That music is not for human use, man. Does anything about that music sound remotely cinematic or interesting to you? Like, did you really listen to that music and be like, that's intriguing. That works for that scene.
Okay, great class today, kids. Xavier, can I see you for a minute?
Sure, Mrs. Karen.
Xavier, you're such an amazing child. I wanted to talk to you about something that happened today in class.
What is it?
Shouldn't we have established that, like Xavier, like with his father or with his mother, like have a scene of him with his parents? Wouldn't that be like better storytelling? Like you show him and his parents together so you like see their established relationship and then that terrible overlong scene we just suffered through could have been handled with like a few throwaway lines of dialogue where the guy's just like, I don't think Xavier should take that class. Like, what are you really afraid of? I just don't know about it. And she's like, you seem upset. And he's like, you know what? Fine. All right. You can take it. I don't know. I mean, it seems weird to me, but okay. Next scene. You see the evil teacher just like, you're a very special child, Xavier. Can I talk to you for a minute after class? Xavier, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're trans now.
What?
That's right. You're a tranny. You're a tranny, Xavier. You're gonna paint your nails, aren't you? It's like, what the fuck?
Well, I noticed you put male as your gender in class.
I am a boy.
Well, there are a few things that I noticed about you that might make you think otherwise.
Nope. This obviously should never happen. Ever, ever, ever. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there are things you could see that maybe would make this appropriate, but I don't think so. I'm struggling to think of what they might be. This is fucking insane. What?
Huh?
I mean, you wear earrings, you have beautiful long fingernails. Are you sure you're a male, Xavier?
That's it? That's the evidence? You got fingernails. You wear earrings. Xavier, you're a girl. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, Xavier. You're a little girl. Here's some dress money. I expect you to like what? Oh God. It begins. It begins. No. They got me too, Xavier. They got me too. Don't do it, Xavier. Don't put that color that your father wears on his shirts on your fingernails, Xavier. Don't do it. Oh, dear.
Hey, son.
What the fuck
What's going on
you
here?
doing? Hey, son. Hey, male son who is a boy. The fuck seems to be going on in here, son? What are you doing? What exactly are you fucking doing, kid? What the hell's happening?
I borrowed some of Mom's fingernail paint.
Oh,
Doesn't it
you
look cool,
borrowed some of Mom's fingernail paint. Well, you know what? You're gonna borrow my whole tool set, Xavier. Here's my bandsaw. Play with my bandsaw. I'm scared, Daddy. I don't know how it works. Shut up and play with my bandsaw. Oh, God, he's dead. Oh, God. I just want him to be manly. No.
Daddy?
Why are you painting your nails?
Miss Karen, our teacher,
Miss Karen, our teacher, mentioned how my nails are pretty cool, and I thought maybe I'd paint them.
What the fuck you just say to me, boy? The fuck you just say to me? Your teacher told you do this? Your teacher told you paint up them nails, boy? Don't you lie to me, boy. Don't you fucking lie to me. I know what's going on in there. You paint up them nails, huh? Oh, yeah, that teacher told... Well, I'm going to pay a little visit to Mrs. Old Teacher, all right? I'm going to pay her a visit. I want to let her know what's what. I ain't going to have no nail painting sissy, son. Not on my watch.
mentioned how good nails I have, so I'm painting them instead of cutting them.
Oh.
It looks cool, right, Dad?
This situation makes me uncomfortable. Son, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, okay? This whole situation, it skeeves me the fuck out. I can't do this. I could try to, like, I don't know, figure out some way to handle this like a reasonable adult, but no. I'm very scared right now, my son. I'm filled with terror.
He's painting his nails, Raven. He said he learned it from some girl in class.
What's the big deal? girlfriends. Seriously, Albert?
His teacher, Miss Karen, she instigated it.
By saying his nails are nice? It's not a big deal, Albert.
Raven.
Once again, I have to side with Raven here. I mean, yeah, I don't know. This is basically just like, hey, American fucking male, all of your deep-seated fears born of insecurity are absolutely true. Everything that you think is going on, guess what, buddy? It fucking is. Oh, shit. Time to man up. Time to step up and put that woman in a place. Don't let Raven have a way.
I find it a big deal. And I set up a meeting with the school and teacher. I need to see what's going on.
Aw, shit. Daddy ain't fucking around. He ain't gonna have no Alexa. He saw how his friend was cucked by the fucking LGBT mafia. He ain't gonna allow that shit to happen. Fuck no. Not on my watch, bitch. I went behind your back and scheduled a fucking meeting. That's right. We're gonna talk to this school, see what the hell's really going on. We're gonna get to the bottom of this shit. We're getting to the bottom of this. You damn right. You think we're just gonna let this fucking slide? Hell no. Getting to the bottom of this shit. Bottom of this shit. Bottom of this shit. That's right.
Fine, Albert. You're worrying too much about this. When is it?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to pull our son out of this sex education class. I think it's too soon for him.
What, Dad?
Albert, what is this? We didn't discuss this.
So you're saying you guys don't agree?
I don't just assume that.
This is this is a good video, dude. You know, if you don't like something that's going on, be sure, you know, you and your wife are trying to raise a child together. Don't listen to that bitch's input. She don't know. She don't know shit. It's time for you to take charge. Time for you to misrepresent what the fuck is going on. You say, I'm going to this meeting just so I can ask some questions and figure out what's really going on here. But then when you show up at the meeting, you take a much more aggressive tack that you didn't even tell your wife about, because that's a good marriage. That's a good partnership. That's how you work together to raise a kid. Oh, yeah.
I think Samuel should be learning this.
Nailing it, Albert. Nailing it.
But I like it, Dad.
I understand, son.
Albert, come on. You're making a big deal out of this.
Mr. Unger, this class was formulated by experts.
Oh, shit. I just noticed, too. Look at that. Look at that on top of her head. You seeing what I'm seeing right around this region right here? What is that? That ain't no natural hair color. I mean, they should have made it blue to really let you know it ain't natural. But, man, that is not a natural shade found in nature of hair. This ain't no good Christian teacher right here. This one of them blue hairs. I know the hair ain't literally blue, but I'm talking all metaphorically, like that's basically blue hair right there. Any fucking hair that ain't real color hair is blue hair. We got one of them blue. You can't let them blue hairs have your kids. They'll start brainwashing them.
Your son missing this class may leave him behind in knowledge that other kids have. It also helps with preventative measures. I mean, you don't want him getting a girl pregnant at 13, do you?
I just feel like you're grooming him into being something that he's not.
Albert, seriously, I can't believe you're talking like this.
Sir, I apologize, but this is coming off as phobic.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Kim.
Oh, shit. Phobic. This is coming across as phobic. Albert coming across as phobic. Albert. Oh, shit. How's Albert gonna get out of this? He's been called phobic by the teacher lady. Oh, shit. What's he gonna do now? He's phobic. Maybe he's phobic. What's he gonna do now? Let's find out. That's my little song. You like my little song about it? I feel like it adds something.
Karen. Albert, I need you to go wait in the car.
What? No.
You are causing a scene.
Yeah, go wait in the car, Albert. Go wait your little cuck ass in the car, Albert. Get out of here. You don't have no more input, bitch. Out. Get out, Albert. You're done. Wait, I'm still waiting for this shocking ending, dude.
You need to go calm down. I won't tell you again.
Yeah, he seems like a rage beast. Look at him. Albert's fixing to just tear this whole room apart. Rip it apart with his bare hands. Also seems kind of weird that the kid is here in this room right now. Like, why would the kid be there while they're discussing this? That doesn't make any sense, but okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, Albert. I thought he was going to hit her for a second, you guys. He seems so out of control. Oh, God, Albert, you're a madman. You're insane, Albert.
Such toxic masculinity.
Oh, yeah, that's what she would say there. Good point. Those blue hairs, they do love saying that. They just look at any situation, and they're just like,
Toxic masculinity. What you gonna do? Yeah, it's one of them toxic males. Comes in here screaming, ranting, raving, punching holes in the wall. Toxic male. Typical toxic fucking male.
who wrote this? Who directed this? Who decided this was a fucking thing worth making? Oh, God, no. Here you go.
Seriously.
I see.
I'm going to unironically tell you guys, I'm enjoying this. This is fun for me. I'm really having a good time. I don't know. I know that this guy as a filmmaker is totally ideologically opposed to anything I believe, but I really don't care because this movie, bad as it is pretty fucking entertaining.
Here, you both have different last names.
Yeah, I didn't want to change my last name.
Oh my God, you guys. She didn't even change her last name for him. Oh, Albert. Albert. I can see now why Albert was so thoroughly defeated at every turn. Couldn't even make his woman give up her fucking stupid family name and take his instead. What a piece of shit.
Very empowering.
Thank you. This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous, he said in the car.
This is my son.
Yeah. This big, like, I guess this is as close as you're going to get to a big emotional moment. So I'm going to call it a big emotional moment, but obviously it's by any real reasonable standard, it's not. But like, you're showing some emotion right here. Maybe the scene that would have been more dynamic and interesting from a storytelling perspective to have you have this reaction would have been like, I don't know, when you were actually talking to the fucking teacher, you know, maybe be like, this is my son you're talking about, you know, like, and then she'd be like, oh my God, I'm just kind of scared. You seem like you're going to do something. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do nothing, but I'm just upset. It's like, you can't be upset because you're a man. This toxic masculinity to be upset. That would have worked better narratively and for propaganda purposes. But instead, you show this dude is just like a little bitch out there yelling in his car. Fucking bitch, she can't tell me what to do. As he just got told what to do and obeyed. I mean, like, come on. Like, are we supposed to like relate to this dude?
I should have a say so on what he's learning.
Yeah, you should, Albert.
Just sign your gender here, Xavier. You can be a girl if you want to. It's okay. This is what he wants.
Shouldn't she be saying she by now?
I guess. Do what you feel is best, Xavier.
I don't know what I want to be, Mommy.
Well, you love strawberries over chocolate, right, Xavier? That is pretty feminine.
What? You love strawberries over chocolate? That's pretty feminine? What? What? Okay. All right. This is a magical moment. I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering, stupid. Teacher caught grooming student to be trans. Then ending will shock you. A whole new world. All right. Cool. Do it.
But I like chocolate sometimes.
Oh, shit. He do like, but Mrs. Blue Hair, he do like chocolate sometimes. Ooh, I don't know. Kill me.
Okay, I do too.
He's my son. I'm not tolerating this nonsense.
Yeah, get out. Take a stand, Daddy. Don't let
Put
it
the pen
happen.
down, son.
Albert, what are you?
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, shut your mouth, woman. Shut the fuck up, bitch. The man talking now. I'm about to make a decision. Look at this.
Sir, you need to calm down. You're behaving like an animal.
I am an animal, and I'm protecting my son. This is jungle, so you better get back.
Albert, please.
Raven, get your big back in the car and take our son with you.
Daddy laying down the law now. What you gotta do? Gotta go up in there. You gotta tell that bitch, fuck you, bitch. You don't fucking have no say in how we raise our son. Fuck you. Shut your fucking bitch ass mouth. Get in the fucking car, bitch. That's right. And take our son, and that's all he is, all he ever will be. Take his bitch ass in that car as well. And we going home. And we're not doing this gender shit no more. That's what's going on. That is what's going the fuck on. Laying down the fucking law. Yeah, someone needs to show this video to critical drinkers. Someone's finally making media to his taste. Well, they're not white. But other than that, you know.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Ooh. I like when you take charge of the situation and become a real man. Other than, this my whole life I've been afraid to let a man dominate me, but now that it's happened, my pussy is gushing wet. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, I obey you, alpha male. Yes. Oh, the way you just took fucking charge. Oh, it's so fucking hot. Albert, you sexual dinosaur. Yeah, destroy me, Albert.
Come on, baby.
I got you, blue hair bitch. Take that, you blue hair bitch.
Typical angry black man.
Oh, what? What? Oh, shit, y'all. Oh, shit. Typical angry black man, she says. Wow. These blue hairs, they pretend to be friends of the POCs, but deep down inside, super fucking racist. Oh, yeah. Now she's objectively the villain.
Don't change, huh, Karen?
Oh, shit. Oh. Master class in clapping that ass. Don't change, do ya? Karen! You're a Karen. And she's just like, my only weakness. Defeated. You're going to give someone a seizure? Well, if I do, then at least I got them out of watching any more of this.
Hey.
So, what are we gonna do now, Dad?
Well, first we're gonna head down to the city clerk.
Yeah, Dad, you made a scene over there. I think now is the time when we all are most affectionate towards you. After you went and scared my teacher and yelled at my mom, now I love you more than ever, Daddy. Thank you so much for showing me that side of yourself. You really made the right decision. And now they're going to the city clerk so she could change her last name. Cool.
Clerk? What's that?
Well, the only thing we changing today is your last name.
And then she's just like, that's fine. I know this important issue that we probably agreed upon when we married, I no longer care about. I am now your female property, Albert.
You can tell me what's what. I was just waiting for the day you seized control, Albert. That's what I secretly wanted all this time.
Thank you, Dad. I love being a boy.
And Dad, you throwing a temper tantrum in that meeting totally absolved me of any gender confusion I had. I saw crystal clearly in that moment, hey, my dad's a raging lunatic. Guess I am a boy. Cool.
No problem, son. I know you'll grow up to be an amazing man. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm not transphobic. I'm just totally against the possibility that my kid could be trans. That's not transphobic, right?
Okay to be a man and have old school morals. There's nothing wrong with accepting the trans community, but there's
Unless it's one of your own relatives, then of course it's really bad.
also nothing wrong with the straight community. We need to.
Okay. A lot of trans people are straight. Trans is not the opposite of straight. That's really weird.
All appreciate each other's upbringings and differences. Don't hate, just appreciate.
Wow. Brilliant. So I guess this is the guy that's probably the director guy, right? This is the guy that's probably really the dude that wrote and directed that, or is he just presenting it, or what's going on here? At any rate, that was horrible. What a nightmare. Is this...
I truly hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember
I didn't.
to check out my daughter's new YouTube channel.
No, don't care about that. All right, let's see. So I read this comment already. I want to read the replies to it. Thank you so much. I just showed this to my child. They're no longer suicidal from being bullied at school for being non-binary. Now my child is suicidal from how bad this video is. Savage and base-pilled. Bruh, this comment had a full 180. My God, this won the internet and everything before it. Yeah, that is a pretty good comment. I couldn't stop laughing at this piece of non-stop unintentional comedy. Conservatives are some of the funniest people when they're trying so hard not to be. Thank you. That's definitely true. Imagine getting angry about things that don't even happen. You don't have to imagine. You just witnessed it. I used to believe in letting children decide for themselves. When I saw how poorly acted and directed this video was, it taught me that the only way forward is to become a teacher and start forcing kids to be trans myself. Love how conservatives have to make up entire skits to fit their culture war narrative because it never happens in real life. Also, this is hilarious. Well, the comment section has got a good head on its shoulders. So that's a good thing. But, wow, holy shit. Fucking goddamn. Oof. All I can say is oof. I don't know what else you could fucking possibly bring to that fucking table. Other than just like, oof, that sucks. Oof, boy. That's a sucky meatball. 1.2 million subs, 90% ironic. Yeah, I'll be right back.
TJ definitely ruined another pair of pants. Dude, shut up with that damn stupid fucking bullshit meme, all right? That one's not allowed. I'll kill you all. I'm gonna put my hat the other way now. Now we're gonna do this hat. I'm gonna do this hat now. Nah, that's not as cool. The American, the European nerd who joined ISIS or whatever is a cooler look. She's more offended by poopy pants than small peen, because at least small peen is true. Poopy pants is not true. Didn't happen. Can you feel the hope tonight? What did you guys think of that little movie we just watched? Were you guys as entertained by that as I was? I never have moved my my little box around the screen so much before, but I started moving it around just to not be in the way of the actors. But then I just started moving it around because I got in the habit of doing that. I hated it. Why? It was so fun. I mean, it was horrible. It was really horrible, and it had a terrible message, but it was kind of fun. I don't know. Definitely better than Velma. I mean, I watched way more of it. I mean, if I had been flipping through like content at home and stumbled upon the piece of content we just watched, I would have watched the whole thing. You know? I would have watched that whole little stupid short film on my own. You know, just because it's so ridiculous. Whereas like Velma, I couldn't stand 10 minutes of that. I watched like 3 minutes maybe before I was like, well, I'm never looking at this again. So yeah, definitely better than Velma. I'd abandon hope I've ever had any to begin with. Oh, whatever. You know you had some. And if you didn't, well, good for you. I found out I was a girl because I like strawberries. Thank you, movie. Yeah, that was the weirdest. That was the weirdest thing. I mean, I everything else in that movie I'd kind of heard from conservatives before, but that was my first exposure to the idea that there are teachers out there who will zero in on something as innocuous as a kid liking strawberries and be like, well, that makes you a girl. It's like, what? When Vosh covered it, I was cringing. When you cover it, it's comedic. Yeah, I mean, because I don't know how he covered it. Maybe he treated it a little bit more seriously than I did or something. But that was horrible. I love chocolate, so I'm very masculine. But then I did paint my nails. So I don't know. But I painted them black. I feel like black is a color that you can paint your nails as a dude. And it's just like, I'm not like saying I'm trans or something. I'm just saying like I'm kind of like lazy goth, maybe like a smidgen. It is way more common for teachers to bully you for not following gender norms. Wait, you mean to tell me that teachers enforce conformity and aren't actually trying to brainwash kids into becoming trans? Whoa, crazy. I can't believe it. Yeah, Princess R, you claim to be a girl, but you like steak? Get out of here. We all know. We know the truth. Yeah, chocolate. Wait, that is true. Chocolate is famously kind of girl coded. So why is it like you give a girl chocolates or like women eating chocolate ice cream or chocolate cake to deal with their problems? Like, but now all of a sudden chocolate is the masculine option? That's kind of weird, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, good call. What about a strawberry dipped in chocolate? Well, then you know you're gender fluid, right? That's how you know. Some days I present as a man, some days I present as a woman. But either way, I present as a redneck sumbitch. Why's the other Mario music? Never mind. Only girls like scotch and cigars. Yeah, you're right. That was a fucking fun video. Anyway. Let's do another one, huh? Bum ba dum bum ba bum bum. This is you guys know this guy Nerdrotic? If you don't know who that is, basically you know the Critical Drinker? Here he is again. Oh, this is called a woke Hollywood revolution, by the way.
I have tried in this program to say something about American civilization today.
Cool.
Because what is fiercely in dispute between the communist and the non-communist nations is
the communist and the non-communist. That's right. I'm an old-timey voice over some black and white grainy stock footage of a supposedly better time. And I'm here to tell you that the communists are a bunch of damn communists. And if you believe in communism, you're a communist. And we don't cotton to no communists around here in good old black and white, old-timey, pseudo-ragtime America.
the quality and staying power of American civilization. Every other country scorns American materialism while striving to match it.
Oh, yeah. Amen.
Envy obviously has something to do with it, but there is a true basis for this debate, and it is whether...
Yeah, envy. It's not because we've, like, literally meddled in all of their countries and tried to turn them into subservient extensions of our capitalist nightmare. It's because they're desperately trying to keep up with us. Oh, man. Yeah, that's it. It's not that we're a fucking empire of bullies who, have, like, engaged in a, campaign of, like, conquest and replacing democratically elected leaders with puppets and, mass murdering people and engaging in, one-sided wars and proxy wars for, territory and control and things like that. It's not because America gets up to a bunch of crap like that. It's because they're just jealous of how awesome we are, guys. That must be it. It's like the fat kid that gets fucking picked on at school, and then he goes home, and his mom is like, they're just jealous of how cool you are, Ralphie. No, they're not. No, they're not.
America is in its ascendant or its decline. I myself think I recognize several of the symptoms.
Oh, yes, it's Alistair Cook. Oh, remember when old Alistair Cook sat down and told America what's what? Remember that? I mean, you're going to sit here and argue with the world-renowned Alistair Cook?
Hold on, I'm going to look up who Alistair fucking Cook is. Alistair Cook, what you done, my friend? Doesn't seem to want to load. Okay. Yeah, it just don't work. That's cool. I don't need to research. Whatever. Alistair Cook was a guy. He presumably did a thing.
That Edward Gibbon saw so acutely in the decline of Rome, which arise not from external enemies, but from inside the country itself.
Before it can be destroyed from without, it must first be destroyed from within.
Oh, yeah. And then it immediately cuts to Gavin Newsom, right? This is what he was talking about. Remember when Alistair Cook said that? This is exactly the motherfucker he had in mind, right here.
A love of show and luxury, a widening gap.
A fucking channel that is devoted to watching and consuming and commentating on entertainment just told you that an overabundant love for entertainment makes you a communist. So is Nerdrotic a communist? No, of course, because he only hates everything he watches. Well, he's still watching it, and he's still talking about it and devoted to it and obsessed with it, so Yeah, communist.
Between the very rich and the very poor. Freakishness in the arts masquerading as originality. And
Oh, my
enthusiasm pretending to creativeness. And a general desire to live off the state. In a word, the idea that Washington, Big Daddy...
The fuck was that shit? You see that shit? All right, it looks like it resolved itself somehow. I just need to... All right, fine. There's not going to be any research in this stream. We're just going to watch videos, I guess. I don't know why my shit's so fucking wonky lately.
...will provide.
Dude, I will give Nerdrotic this. Of all of the right-wing reactionary channels that are disguised as, you know, sort of like film or television or entertainment commentary channels, like all of these people who are disguised as critics but are really just right-wing social ideologues that are unwilling to actually present themselves honestly, and so they have to do it under the guise of film critique. Of all those guys, he's the most blatantly obvious about it. So I'll give him that much. He barely hides it at all. I mean, he literally just opens this video with like, it's all a bunch of commies. Here's Biden. He's a commie. Commies are ruining everything. Commie, commie, commie. It's all commies. Vote Nazi. Goodbye.
Nerderotic.com.
Hollywood used to be the pinnacle of magic, imagination.
No, it didn't. By saying that, you realize that the guy who just told you that like an overabundance of like love and concern for entertainment is a sign of like some sort of like communist moral failing. He was saying that during a time that was closer to this golden age of Hollywood movies that you actually liked back in the day. You know, this is all the stuff he would have been like, this is signs of a decadent culture.
And creativity, and also a bit of a cesspool. Now it's where imagination goes to die. And quite frankly, it doesn't really exist anymore. I know we call it Hollywood, but it's actually woke Hollywood. But
oh, shit. We call it Hollywood, but it's actually, dun dun dun, woke Hollywood. Oh, fuck.
Occasionally, and I mean rarely, someone from the tribe breaks from the narrative.
I love how when they're showing... Once again, as they're describing someone breaking from the woke narrative, they're showing a movie made by two trans women.
And we get something good, proper, right, that feels like it makes sense.
Every once in a while, a movie is made that I like, but for the most part, I don't like things. Just to make that clear, this has been another nerdrotic piece of shit unwatchable video. Please click the link to subscribe for more garbage.
Sometimes it comes from somebody who talks out both sides of their mouth, like Bill Maher. In this case, that's exactly who we're talking about.
Yay, that's right. Not only do we have to suffer through Nerdrotic, we also get to suffer through Bill fucking Maher. Yay. Everyone happy? Buckle up.
It still doesn't make what he says any less true. I firmly believe Billy Boy doesn't go this far if he doesn't feel those winds of change a-blowing, which they are.
If you're part of today's woke...
Wait, I mean, you can say a lot of things about Bill Maher, but like a follower of social trends, he ain't. Like, this is a dude who lost his first show because when most of America was calling for the blood of Muslims, he was the guy that was like, the 9/11 hijackers were not cowards. Cowards don't fucking do a suicide attack. They're actually very brave. That's the problem. Our enemies are bold and daring. Like, we need to have a realistic assessment of that. We can't just be like, they're cowards, because that's not true. And he pissed off America so much with that, I would argue, true comment that they canceled his show. And then he had to, you know, go and fucking get a new show on HBO eventually. But for a while there, he was showless. For a while there, it looked like the old Bill Maher was just fucking down for the count for what he dared to say. So, yeah, I mean, Bill Maher, a lot of things, but I really don't think he's like one of these winds are changing kind of guys. I think Bill Maher is just succumbing to the fucking same boomerism that has sucked the funny right out of Roseanne Barr.
Revolution, you need to study the part of revolutions where they spin out of control because the revolutionaries get so drunk on their own purifying elixir, they imagine they can reinvent the very nature of human beings.
I believe.
And that's why any sort of change to this society is just fucking impossible, you guys. I love it. We live in a fucking nightmare world where no one is satisfied, no one is content, and all of the money is being filtered to the fucking top fraction of a percent. And, you know, more and more human beings are finding themselves staring down the barrel of complete obsolescence as AI and automation steal and replace every fucking job that used to be something only a human could do. And basically, the billionaire class is phasing us out in terms of usefulness. And, you know, that shit's all going on. Sorry. That shit's all going on. And the main concern of this channel is like, woke Hollywood, too woke. Look at this woke going on, everybody.
I believe he's talking about the slippery slope that a lot of us have been warning of for quite some time. Up is down.
Slippery slope is supposed to be a fallacy. No one said up is down.
Black is white.
I mean, if you're in space, there technically is no up or down. On the surface of the earth, down is defined as the direction that gravity is pulling you. Down is defined as towards the earth. But without that object to orientate yourself, yes, there is no meaningful down or up.
Right. Evil is good. 2 + 2 = 5.
No one said evil is good. No one said 2 + 2 = 5. I mean, someone might have said 2 + 2 = 5 for like an illustrative example of something, but no one's going around saying like, mathematically now officially 2 + 2 = 5. And if anyone is saying that, it's like a crazy fringe person. It's not like some widespread belief of any group of people. Oh my God, please fucking work. Ugh. Just fucking do what you're supposed to do. 1 + 1 = 3. All right, look, I was willing to tolerate 2 + 2 = 5. But I'm not going to sit here and as you besmirch fucking 1 and 1, all right? 1 and 1 is obviously 7. Don't fucking say it's 3. Woke Hollywood. Woke Hollywood. We're going to watch the rest of this fucking thing or what? Come on. Let it be. All right. I'm going to have to go for a second. I'll be right back. It's going to take me a minute. I'm just going to restart my fucking computer because shit's not working right. Okay. Copy these tabs and email them to myself. Oh, I guess that's going to be kind of hard to do, actually. Because none of the new windows will open. Okay. Alrighty. Get that to open. All right. I have to do this ultra low tech. I have to send you guys these links. And then access them when I get back. I might need one of you guys to copy and paste those for me, actually, because I might not be able to scroll back to this part in the chat when I come back. It doesn't display the whole URL, but you can go to it and copy it from there. I think it links to it. It doesn't have to be you anyway. But anyway, I'm going to go. I'll have to go try to fucking restart this shit and see if it fixes this fucking issue. BRB. Dun, 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 dun. So let's see. Okay. Will that one open? So the Reddit link will open, but the other links will not. So whatever. We'll go look at the Reddit link, I guess. So Chelsea Handler, I'm not a big fan. I'm not really a fan at all. But she put out a sketch, a comedy sketch about what a day was like in the life of a childless woman. And it was full of like ridiculous hyperbole, like you build a time machine and you go back and kill Hitler. Like it was very over the top comedic. But fucking for some reason, a bunch of right wingers got ultra, dodeca, mega, super, unbelievably fucking triggered to like such an insane degree. I can't even believe how fucking triggered they were by it. Okay. So here's her post the video. It's only a minute long. It's just another day. And she's showing the, Daily Show clip where she's, day in the life of a childless woman, full of like insane comedic exaggeration and honestly pretty funny. So here's some responses. Can you use the time machine to go forward to your deathbed when you die alone with no one around you? I mean, like, so many weird things about this. First of all, the idea that, the quality of your life is measured by how many people are gathered around your deathbed. Pretty fucking weird. You don't even know if you're going to get a deathbed. You might get run over by a bus. You might die of a sudden heart attack. You might fall down an escalator. Like any number of crazy things could happen to you that don't involve you having a deathbed. And also the idea that people who don't have kids never have any loved ones whatsoever that might care enough about them to be at their deathbed. Only children could possibly care that much, right? Seems a little strange. So on two levels, really dumb. Godsod, who I've actually talked to before. I talked to this guy a couple times on the Drunken Peasants back in the day. He says, being a parent can be difficult and painful, but I would not trade being a father to my children for anything. My daughter just gave me a box of chocolate and flowers for Valentine's. I'm the richest man for it. Also retweeted. I really don't have too much of an objection to this. Like you having your own personal feelings about your kids and feeling like, wow, this really did something for my life. I really don't mind that at all. If that's how you feel, good for you. I'm glad you found something in life that gave you purpose and meaning. But like, for a lot of us, not interested, man. And like, why is that such a big deal? Like, if we're really missing out on so much, like, shouldn't the reaction towards us childless people just be like, oh, you poor unlucky bastards don't know what you're missing. Oh, well, it's your choice. And just like go on about your great child having life and, just be like, oh, you suckers that ain't having kids. Oh, you're really missing out on a grand old time. And then, but you're never like that. It's always this vitriolic, like, how dare you? And it really comes across to me like you guys don't like having kids. You really regret it on so many levels. And that's why you're very protective of the social pressure to do it and the social exaltation you get for doing it. Because, it seems like that's really the only benefit in your mind. It seems like you don't actually care about your kids as much as you care about your identity as parents. But that would be identity politics, wouldn't it? You wouldn't engage in that sort of thing, I'm sure. But like I said, Godsod's not too bad on that one. I mean, I've seen him say some other shit that's really dumb, but that didn't really bother me too much because he didn't really focus so much on like Chelsea Handler is bad. He was just like, I actually have, very rewarding, whatever. My relationship with my kids is very rewarding. Good for him. This is the saddest thing I've seen. And also a reason for every young woman not to repeat your horrendous existence. I mean, if you watch her video, like the existence that she portrays, first of all, meant to be taken comedically, like clearly full of like over the top exaggeration and just like ridiculous, humor. And this guy watching it getting so fuming angry that he's like, fuck your horrendous existence, you nightmare demon. Burn in hell, witch. It's like, why are you so upset? Once again, it comes across like you really don't like your kids all that much. And this is cope, right? It kind of, am I wrong about that? It kind of comes across like cope, huh? Sorry to break it to you anti-child folks, that you missed out on the greatest experience life has to offer. Yeah, it's cliche, but you'll never know, will you? Even if I were a poet, I could not explain the feeling of seeing your own child for the first time in the delivery room. You know what, Michael Gibson? I'm glad that you have that, buddy. I'm like really rooting for you. I'm glad that you got that in your life. I don't really understand why someone who has this, like, let me ask you this. You watch a movie or something where someone attains enlightenment, or maybe you know someone that attains fucking enlightenment. I don't fucking know. Maybe you got that in your circle. Let me meet him or her. But someone attains enlightenment. Oh wow, I understand the ultimate truth of life. I see what it's all about. How often does the person who attains that turn around to all the people that don't have that, be like, how you don't even have the meaning of life, stupid. You don't even get it like I do. I understand, and you don't understand anything. You're fucking dumb. Like, does that really seem like the actions of an enlightened person? To go and like rub how great everything is for them because they made this choice in other people's faces? Like, how dare you enjoy the opposite choice from me? How dare you, a different individual, feel differently about this thing than I do? It's like, it kind of reads, once again, not trying to step on any toes here, but it kind of reads to me like you're not actually all that satisfied with your decision. Yes, you're really living your best life, aren't you? Just to be clear, because it apparently needs to be said by parents, I wouldn't trade 10,000 of your supposedly carefree, childless days in Paris and sleeping in until noon for one smile from my baby girl. Well, then you're just a moron. Like, honestly, like, you're an idiot at that point. Like, the idea that, 10,000 completely carefree days in Paris, sleeping until noon, or a single smile. Like, the kid's just like, and that's it. That's all you get. And then what? You're cast into like eternal darkness or something? It's your choice. 10,000 carefree days of awesomeness, or one stupid little, it's a cute sentiment, but get fucking real, my man. You ain't being legit. You forgot the part where you cry yourself to sleep alone at night. She's too in love with herself to love anyone else. Just another day of not being funny. So mad. Why are they so upset, bro? All right. Carl Benjamin, my old buddy, Carl Benjamin. The framing of this is very interesting as it centers having a family as a lodestone of human existence. Waking up at 6 a.m. and remembering you don't have kids implies that subconsciously you think/dream you do. Everything after that is a sad fantasy to cope with loneliness. Or alternative read on why she wakes up at 6 a.m., realizes she doesn't have kids, and goes back to sleep. Maybe it's one of those, like, I don't know, joke things. Maybe it's one of those things where people do comedic exaggerations, in the hopes of eliciting a humor response from somebody. But I guess that's not in the deck of cards anymore. That's no longer in the Carl Benjamin deck. Everything has to be like, what did you think when she started getting into stuff like, then I went time traveling and murdered Hitler? I guess you probably cried, right? Okay. Never mind. I know what you did. The best thing about this video, this is Ben Shapiro, by the way. The best thing about this video is that it features her explaining that she can do whatever she wants as a person with no kids, and so she names a bunch of stuff she didn't do because her actual life consists of drinking a shitload of wine and being really, really sad. I think her actual life actually consists of, you know, being like a famous actress and comedian that makes a bunch of money and probably does have a pretty interesting life. But no, yeah, sure, why not? Also, another guy that just refuses to acknowledge, like, oh yeah, well, she claims to make this video that she's going to show her life without kids, but then there's a bunch of comedic exaggerations. Why would that be? A lot of people would say maybe Ben, it's because it's a comedy show, but I don't buy it. I have an alternative explanation. My explanation is she's a bitter old hag and she hates life. Okay, Benny boy. Sure. You do you, boo. Oh, Matt Walsh, too, man. It's a fucking... all of them. I don't know what she did in this skit to trigger every single right-winger of note, but she did it. I mean, I don't know. I gotta take my hat off, guys. You know what? I didn't think it would ever happen, but I'm kind of a Chelsea Handler fan now. I don't care that she didn't know that the sun and the moon were different things until she was 86 years old. I don't care anymore. The fact that she was able to trigger every single right-winger on earth with the most innocuous, silly comedy sketch you've ever seen that literally should have offended no one. It should have been the most innocuous, inoffensive comedy sketch you've ever seen, and somehow she's got every right-winger with a pulse fucking seething. I don't know how she did it. Nothing more, this is Matt Walsh, nothing more pathetic than coping done by a childless woman pushing 50. She could have had kids and still be doing basically whatever she wants with her life today. Kids aren't toddlers forever. She could have had her freedom and a family. Instead, she'll die alone. Hey, Matt Walsh, guess what, bud? I don't know if you know this. We all die alone. I'm going to repeat that for you, buddy. Let me get even bigger on the screen. Matt Walsh, we all die alone. Anyway. I need just like an instant close-up button. Yeah. Oh, I guess one wasn't enough for him. He had to opine again. Chelsea Handler says it's okay to be childless by choice. It is. Apparently, she did a whole Daily Show episode on being childless by choice. I never thought they'd find a host less funny than Trevor Noah, but here we are. I didn't watch her whole episode. I watched that one skit. And, you know, honestly, in and of itself, I probably wouldn't be too impressed. But, like, the fact that you guys hate it so fucking much has kind of made me love it. Matt Walsh cannot get over this. He's got multiple tweets. Chelsea Handler wants I can't fucking talk. Chelsea Handler wants you to know that she's really happy being a childless 47-year-old. Like, seriously happy. She's super happy, you guys, okay? Nobody say she's sad. She's not. Definitely not. I don't think she is. I mean, I get that you guys are trying to do this like, she pretends she's happy with this decision, but really she's sad. I think you're projecting on that one. I think that this is like massive cope and projection. I think you guys are sad that you saddled yourself up with kids, and now that someone is going out around being like, you know, you don't have to have kids to be happy. You're like, what? You told me too late. Fuck that. If I have to suffer, all will suffer. That's a more accurate read of the situation, I think. Jesus Christ, Matt. Get over it, bud. This many tweets? You had to make sure, you had to disagree with, okay, well, I guess he was responding to someone at this time at least. Okay. So someone said to Matt, and I guess Ben Shapiro, the first thing she talks about is having an excuse to sleep the majority of the day away. Why? It's so great. Be awake to not miss a moment, right? I'm pretty sure most human beings need roughly the same amount of sleep, regardless of when they do it. Also, love the highlights of taking photos on vacation by herself so she can reminisce with herself later. Yeah, why not? Also, it was a joke, but even if that was meant to be taken literally, yeah, why not? You can't reminisce about something you did on your own. Why not? No childless person can really appreciate sleeping in any way. You can't know the joy of not having to wake up with a crying baby until you've had to wake up with a crying baby. Yeah, you don't understand what good sleep is until you've had night upon night of torturous half sleep. Okay, sure. Yeah, and by the way, you also can't enjoy the taste of a piping hot lasagna unless you've also experienced the taste of cat shit smeared with dog boogers, okay? This is a catch-22 of life. Only the people who've done a thing can enjoy not doing that thing. I beg to differ. I think that I mean, Matt, let me ask you this. Have you ever had molten lava poured on your face? No? Well, how do you know you don't like it until you tried it? Come on. Wow, 4 fucking tweets about this, huh, Matt? Probably more on your Twitter. This is just the sampling that I could find here. Jesus. Jeepers Peepers. Where'd you get those peepers? Wait, Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those peepers? That's how it goes. Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get those peepers? All right, now let's see if I can find any of this shit I found before. They don't understand jokes. I think they selectively don't understand jokes. Boop, 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 boop. All right, here's what I'm going to do, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and label this stream Abandoned Hope 2/15/2023 Part 1. Because I need to go regather my shit. And we will continue this tomorrow. We'll do a Part 2. Why not? I don't see any reason why anyone should care about that, right? So we'll be doing Abandoned Hope Part 2 of 2 tomorrow evening around the same general time. And you know what? I might actually do it a little earlier in the day. We'll see. But I did 3 hours for you tonight. I'll do another 2 or 3 tomorrow, and I think that's pretty good. So see you then. See you there. Love you all. Peace.